what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to Trump inauguration, and I guess this is people's reaction to it. These videos always make for good fun. You'll have people saying stuff that they're very happy about, or they'll have maybe thoughts that are just funny to hear. But I do enjoy just sort of seeing these kinds of videos. This is Channel 5 Andrew Callahan. I don't know if this is the guy that I'm thinking of. Is he like a comedian who interviews them or something? I think it could be along the lines of that, but I don't fully know. But yeah, we're gonna see. Hopefully, going to enjoy, and yeah, hopefully we have a good little laugh, and also see what people's like hopes are. Because you know what, with that change of presidency, people are obviously expecting change and stuff, and all that those kinds of things. But I haven't really paid attention to much of like the stuff that's happening in the US the last few days. I've said in my last few videos that I've recorded today, I've been really busy with exams and stuff, so that's been my focus. But a lot has been happening in the US, so yeah, gonna catch up with these types of videos and see what's going on, and yeah, jump into this reaction. Oh, someone's been a naughty boy. Yeah, we're gonna jump into this reaction and see what the people have to say.
The golden age of America has arrived. President Donald J. Trump, number 47 in 43 minutes. Happy days are here again.
This is We the Sequel, We the People, round 2.
He's got dreads for days.
Our capital, as we take back the country after January 6th and all of those people rotting in jail for no reason. Most of them.
I'm ready to see gas prices under $1.50. I'm ready to see the Federal Reserve abolished. I'm ready to see Trump buy 1 million Bitcoins for a strategic reserve for us Americans to have. I'm ready to see the northern, the southern borders secure. I'm ready to see inflation go down to 0. I'm ready for all the Jan 6 prisoners not only to get a pardon, but
what are the chances of the inflation going to 0? I feel like there's always gonna be some. I feel like you need a bit of inflation. I mean, I don't know how. I'm not really into business or finance or whatever. I feel like you need some kind of inflation, maybe very, very small. 0 inflation, I feel like that probably wouldn't be great, and also probably not actually possible either.
Get multi-million-dollar payouts in the future, and I'm ready to go to Greenland and have a nice hotel stay.
Oh, this Greenland stuff. What is that about? Is he wanting to buy Greenland or something? I've not really been like on like the internet the last week or so. Really, maybe a bit more than that. So I've not actually seen what's going on. But I swear he said something about buying Greenland or something along the lines of that. How much would Greenland cost? Because obviously I think it's owned by Denmark or something like that. So how would that go down? Oh god, it would be a lot of money.
Trump Tower that gets built there. I'm ready for that.
Yeah, you know Greenland
Trump
is
Tower
like negative 30 right now, though.
Well, Greenland is really cold and icy, and Iceland is really green and nice, right?
Yeah, it was like they named it that to trick the Vikings. So Iceland's the green one. So they were like, the Vikings, they were scared of them, so they were just like, yo, we're going to call Greenland Iceland and reverse it. So that the Vikings got to Greenland and were like, fuck.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm really honestly going to be proud to see our president able to walk and not crap himself in front of the world stage. It's nice to have a president that can speak English without mumbling. It's nice to have a president that the people on the world stage actually respect and maybe fear a little bit.
Remember bro, he looks so lost here. He looks mortified.
People on the world stage actually respect and maybe fear a little bit. Remember when he did the thing with Rocket Man? People said he was going to start World War III. He's like, Rocket Man, I've got the biggest rocket. I got a bigger button. I've got a bigger...
He's got quite a good impression of Trump. What the fuck?
Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself and for his regime.
And everyone said that was going to start World War III. But did it? No, it actually backed off Rocket Man. And in the end, they ended up shaking hands, which had never been done before. Never been done in the history of the world. And it's that strength that you need when you come into a negotiation. You don't need some guy bumbling and barely able to walk, rolling up in front of the world leaders. They're laughing behind our backs. They're making us look foolish. At least Trump has swagger. He's got Americana, and he's a badass.
I definitely think he's learned a lot. I think, you know, while we definitely didn't want the last 4 years, I think he's benefited from 4 years of just seeing what can happen. And now he's got the right team assembled. He knows how to move things around. And I think we're going to see real meaningful change.
Yeah, I'm ready for Elon to really cut most of the 2 million.
Hasn't Elon been pissing a lot of people off? Again, I've not really seen, but I swear he's like been getting really involved in like politics, and I swear he's pissed off a lot of like Trump supporters, and obviously people who aren't Trump supporters as well. I could be wrong, But I swear he's been pissing people off. I mean, he's an interesting person. I'll be honest.
Plus jobs in the federal government.
Wait,
out
what
of
the
the equation,
fuck
and
was
I'm ready
that?
to see over
Did he just fucking? Oh, okay, I'll
jobs in the federal
Bloody
government.
hell, I don't know
out
what that's
of the
about.
equation, and I'm ready to see over 400 bureaucracies here in the United States that are like a cancer in God's U.S. Republic completely abolished. The IRS needs to be abolished.
I would like to see, say,
look at his hat. What the fuck is going on?
Department of Education gone. I would like to see ATF gone.
Wait, I think I paused it at the wrong point.
Department of Education gone.
Education.
I would like to see ATF gone.
Why do you want the Department of Education shut down?
Before the Department of Education, we were ranked 9th in the world. Or no, we were 7th in the world.
In education.
Yes, in education. After the Department of Education, I think today we are about 14th. No Child Left Behind, drastically dumbed down. The curriculums made it so that students couldn't fail. And then every time the curriculum is seen to be upgraded, the teachers union shut it down.
Interesting. Do you think teachers should be paid more?
No.
Why?
There shouldn't be a public education system.
And I'm ready for Donald John
What?
Trump to make
Jesus
Bitcoins
Christ.
a legal tender here, like what has happened in El Salvador with Nayib Bukele.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
What's the benefit of having a cryptocurrency reserve?
Well, with Bitcoins, we have to adapt to that as Americans. We have to have that because if we don't, we're going to be very, very far behind of other nations like El Salvador, who's leading the way.
Yeah.
Those people there.
I guess it's just important to have market regulation when it comes to, Bitcoin because of pump and dump schemes. Like, did you see the Haktua coin?
Right, that's a huge problem. We have Bitcoins, they're incredible, and then we have all the scam coins out there. And there are so many altcoins that are just wreaking havoc.
Yeah, because it's
Life
hard.
after life after life.
It's hard because you want to have a free market, but then the crypto world is just so full of scams. It's like you need some element of regulation.
Right, there needs to be some type of thing put in, and hopefully Trump can get it done.
What do you think about this upcoming presidency, bro?
I'm actually Cuban. I was born in Cuba. I came in 2011. First terms for Trump, didn't really agree with him. Didn't really agree with the way that he spoke about immigrants, especially I was not citizen yet. I didn't think about voting on the second term, but something happened. And I saw that Biden took like such a comfortable back seat during July 6th back in Cuba. I don't know if you've heard about the situation.
Tell us about it.
So I think it was 2022. There was a massive revolt all around the island. All the cities were taking to the streets, protesting that they were sick and tired. There's no food. There's no power. The government basically hoards all the resources, and instead of distributing them like they're supposed to, communism, they give it to like the people that were close with them, the agents.
Like Venezuela.
Like Venezuela, exactly, same thing. It was violent. The police were, there are videos of police breaking into like the house of one of the organization leaders. They
Jesus
shot him
Christ.
right in front of the family.
Wow.
You can see like the blood running. It's really sad. I was crying throughout that entire thing. Like it was tragic.
And how did Biden respond to the July 6th events?
He didn't do anything. He basically said we're not gonna touch anything revolving around Cuba. We're gonna leave them to their devices. And there's a group of Cubans that today are gonna be having a protest in front of the White House to basically encourage Trump to look at that situation and try to do something, try to help. And fair.
How long did it take you to achieve citizenship?
Well, for me, it was around 6-7 years. It's not hard. You just gotta know history, learn the history. They literally give you a booklet with the answers.
Jesus. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You can't be tough on crime, elect a felon,
Can you tell me about your
and
side?
elect a felon.
Sure.
So these are the protesters, yeah.
So mine says protect trans kids. There's a lot of discourse about trans people right now. All of the talking points being made
Yanni or Laurel? The fuck is Yanni or Laurel?
are word for word identical to what they were 20 years ago or 30 years ago about gay people.
It's like we have mutants living among us on planet Earth.
I think if kids want to
Look it up.
change their name, explore gender identity, do whatever the fuck they want, that's
Kids. Don't want to say kids. Come on now.
fine. If they at some point want to do something medical about
Okay, I thought you meant like kids having surgery, to me, honestly, makes me feel a bit queasy. I'm gonna be honest.
About it, then they can have an informed conversation with a parent and/or medical professional.
And what threat do you think the next 4 years pose to that?
I mean, Trump said he's going to sign an executive order on day one.
I saw him say something about, like, he said a few things in his. I did see it on like Instagram, like a bit, like few things that he said, but like recognizing two genders and stuff. I mean, he's gonna cause a divide for sure, but I feel like he's just taken a very strong stance now, where people are either gonna absolutely love him now or absolutely hate him, and you can just see the divide is getting wider and wider. God, it is an interesting sort of time in the US, because I feel like he's like at this point now where it's like a crossroads of like he's now going to make so many extreme or just strong choices that go against a lot of what the US has been sort of doing over the last, I guess, 10, 20, maybe more years or maybe less years than that. But yeah, it's just a completely different change, which some people will love, some people won't. But to be fair, this seems quite quite peaceful. Like for a Trump, like, there's a lot of people, obviously Trump supporters here, and now these people here, I'm not seeing any like disagreements so far, but although like we are only halfway through the video.
Saying that there are two genders, so there's a pretty imminent threat of getting kicked out of the military, losing gender inclusive care. People are gonna die from this, and that's really shitty.
Transgender students in sports became a top issue on the 2024 campaign trail, and now a top priority of House
What does he mean people are going to die by this? Does he mean like people are going to be attacked, or like maybe they don't feel accepted so they're going to like hurt themselves? Is that what he means? Obviously it's a shit situation all around. I mean, there's definitely a point where it's, I feel like, again, surgeries for kids is a bit over the top, to say the least. But I don't know, as a kid, it's hard to say, right? I feel like people have their own opinions on this kind of thing.
Republicans in the new Congress.
The only time that people, the general public, started caring about trans people in women's sports was when they started winning. Like, Leah Thomas isn't even, she's a good swimmer. She's not the best.
Yeah.
There's no epidemic of men going into...
But it can definitely get worse. This is, again, where I feel like it's a bit extreme. I don't think men, or like people who were men when they were the kids or whatever, and have then transitioned, should be allowed to compete in opposing sex sports, even if they've transitioned, because you're going to have those advantages, right? Like, again, boxing, for example, that's like such an extreme sport. Or like strength sort of related sports, like weightlifting and stuff. If you've got male and then female divisions, you're going to have the female divisions dominated by females that have transitioned from males. And it's like, that's just, no matter what he's saying now, with like how I feel like the world was going, for sure, it was definitely getting to a point where more and more people would have then be getting involved in like female sports and just dominating it, which I feel like just would be a shame for like the top female athletes, because obviously they've just not got as many physical advantages as the transitioned females or whatever. So it's just like, I can't agree on the sports stance whatsoever, because I think no matter how many people are involved, the more people that get involved, the more you'll see there's an extreme like disadvantage, you know.
Women's sports and sweeping competition, like, that's not happening.
Yeah.
And also being on estrogen long term actually like weakens your physical abilities. And
Come on.
medical transition is often necessary to compete in women's sports for trans people. So like,
hatred has won, and that is depressing. I cried on election day. I know so many other women who cried on election day. This means that so many people have to go into hiding, can't be themselves. People are like...
I mean, look, Trump's got his own issues for sure, right? And I've definitely seen he's definitely not like, he's not someone who probably can say he's like, again, he's a felon or whatever's happened, right? He's done a lot of things that, like, I guess make people not like him. And I get why he's very either liked or hated. But at the same time, I saw something to do with Biden, right? About, was it to do with, what's it called when you can, like, stop someone from getting sentenced or whatever? Oh, what's it called? You stop someone from, like, getting prison time. Usually it's for people that typically you don't feel like they actually deserve that time and stuff. And then you can also use it for family. I swear Biden's used it more than any other president, but not just by a little bit, by loads. I forget what the term's called, right? And I think something to do with him and his son. I sort of saw something briefly about how, because they're really rich, right? I think they're like a really rich family, and they just sort of took advantage of their position and stuff like that. Look, they're both not great people. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't demonize one, or you can demonize one, but if you're doing that, demonize the other as well, because let's be real, they both got a pretty bad track record in many aspects.
Aunt said people are gonna die. People are. It's just I'm legitimately terrified for my immigrant friends. I stay awake at night thinking about them, thinking about trans people. Whether or not you think that gay people should exist, trans people should exist, immigrants should be here or not, what I hope we can all come together and understand is that humans are humans. Maybe they did commit a crime. Maybe they do something that you don't agree with. They are still people. The mass deportations of immigrants.
Hey, Biden supported the Vietnam War and killed a lot.
The mass deportation of immigrants is going to kill people.
Right? Yeah, Biden's shit. Okay, great.
What are your thoughts on the whole mass deportation?
Okay, so they're not like Biden either. Okay, okay, it's picking up now. I get it, man. It's one of these things that now where people are going to be so divided, right? I get points from both points of views. I just don't like the extremes on either side, and that's what I guess what pulls it apart, right? There's very extreme views on either side, and it's just like I feel like that for me is what makes me feel like I'm not really on either side, to be honest. I'm just sort of have certain things that I believe on one side, and then the other side, you know, it's just like a mixture, or just very like in the middle, which I feel like pisses people off even more, to be fair. I think when you're more in the middle, that actually angers people more than you being either side, you know. But
issue.
Mass deportation. My wife is Mexican. Like I said, I live by the border. I love the Mexican people. There's a lot of good people. We definitely start at the top, meaning the worst, and work our way down. You know, necessarily not so many, all these little, you know, people with their families or people second generation, this and that. You know, let's not get too carried away. We'll start with the worst and we'll work our way down. When you got murders and rapists in San Diego County, we have not just a sanctuary city, we have a super sanctuary city where not only can you not tell ICE if there's a problem with an illegal alien, you can't tell them even if they committed armed robbery or rape. They're like, no, what about the poor rapists and armed robbery? We can't send them back. We can't tell ICE.
We will not allow our local resources to be used for actions that separate families.
So they don't want to use the resources, which is what they calling ICE, just because they want to protect illegal aliens. I think the people that are doing these laws
you call them illegal aliens. Bloody hell.
Actually paid off by the cartel. It's a crazy conspiracy. I know. You know, it's one thing having immigration, but when you just have a total open border, and then when they come in, they get free health care, they get free cell phones, they get free hotels.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like a lot of like. I get why immigrants like they'll try and move to other countries. I'm not even gonna argue that. I understand it. You're trying to find a better life, and there are many that will become great citizens and all this kind of stuff. And then there's obviously a lot that will also be. I say a lot, probably not as many, but there's a lot that will also not be a great sort of addition to the country, whether they're criminals and stuff like that, right? I was gonna say something now, I forgot. What were they talking about?
A total open border, and then when they come in, they get free health care.
Oh yeah, but like I've seen stuff like a lot of immigrants in the US that have just arrived will get all these benefits, but then actual citizens of the US don't get these benefits. I don't know how true that is, but I've seen that, and I'm like, really? You're putting people that have just arrived there before your own citizens? It's just kind of sad, like how it's come to that point. I'm not saying don't give these people that have just arrived any opportunities, but at the same time, put your own people first. And that should be in any country, really. Like that just shouldn't really be a conversation. It's just a bit mad how, I don't know, I mean, I know a lot of countries, like I guess, are better, like they're sort of, they'll promote immigration to a point, but then I guess it gets to extreme points where you're letting so many people in. You're not tracking these people. You're not like having their identities and stuff. You're gonna have loads of people in your country. You don't actually have any idea who they are, which is quite a scary thing. realistically.
They get free cell phones. They get free hotels when our homeless people are living on the streets. I mean, come on, people. We got to do this legally.
What the fuck? Is he just trying to be Trump again? He's a funky guy, man. Jeez.
Right?
We need to have a very solid immigration policy so we keep attracting the best talents across the world to this land to build it up, build the economy, build companies, hire employee people, you know. I pay tax, and I want my tax to benefit my neighbors, my country, and my children, and my neighborhood, my community, right? I don't want other countries to take advantage of United States people.
Scientology's a cult. Thank you.
Are you a Scientologist?
Nope.
Do you think
Women and children.
Do you think that we're Scientologists?
Nope. Just getting the message out. That's all.
Okay, what's the worst thing Scientology's done?
They use children for auditing, so 8, 9, 10-year-olds are asking grown.
Does anyone actually have a strong, like, a positive opinion on Scientology though? I mean, I don't know. I thought it was always just sort of like clowned on.
Men about masturbation and anal sex.
That's not good. Do you feel like
hashtag save the children?
Are you hoping for like exoneration for the January 6th people?
I am indeed. In fact, I was down there at the vigil for the J6ers down on Freedom Corner with Mickey
J6ers. They've got that tagged. Oh, bloody hell.
Hoff, who is Ashley Babbitt's mother. In fact, I have Ashley Babbitt's ashes in this necklace right here. I made this necklace with Ashley Babbitt's ashes. I made it for her and her husband.
This morning, new details about 35-year-old Ashley Babbitt, who was shot and killed by a Capitol police officer.
And I was down there and I was told that the word on the street is the guards were told to stay late tonight to help release the prisoners.
Are they being held in D.C. right now?
Oh, yeah. They're not far from here, a few miles down the street.
Well, thank you so much, Matt. Any message to the American people before we go?
You should go watch his movie. This guy makes some great documentaries. I went to his premiere. It was freaking awesome. Thanks, brother.
I appreciate you, Matt. Thanks, dog. Have a good one.
If you missed it, just 5 days ago,
He
we
was
dropped our first ever independent film.
Him going in and out of his Trump impression was I just didn't expect it, to be honest. It was great to see.
Head on over. All right, back to the streets of D.C.
Oh yeah, we are surrounded by ancient pagan symbols, from the obelisk there, which may be the biggest obelisk in the world, to the dome there of ISIS.
This is a very cool region. Like, you've just got all these sort of government like buildings and stuff. It is very cool how it's set up in the US or in Washington.
Ever pregnant womb of ISIS in the occult mindset, that's what that is. With the apotheosis of George Washington, which is that mural inside the dome, which represents that Masonic future that so many Masons are into having, where they ascend as a god into some type of paradise. It's not from the Bible, and I'm totally against all that. I'm standing here for Jesus Christ of Nazareth, the Lord of the heavens and the earth.
Wait, I'm a bit confused. You're here for Jesus Christ. However, the pagan symbology is also important.
Well, it's not important to me, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Because the plan that was put in
Look at the emotional music just coming back.
place to build Washington, D.C. was a plan, in fact, to honor the ancient gods. And the plan was not to honor Jesus Christ. The people who designed this place, the main people, were into it to honor their Masonic god, who is Satan, recorded about in the King James Version Bible.
What's going
Who do you think was controlling Biden behind the scenes?
Obama was definitely a key player. But again, in my research, Obama is more like a manager in Satan's hierarchy. He's got the World Economic Forum. He's got the UN. He's got King
Satan. He's calling him Satan.
King Charles and the monarchy. Satan. He's got so many.
Wait, is he talking about King Charles?
The World
King
Economic
Charles.
Forum. He's got the UN. He's got King Charles and the
How's the monarchy got involved in this?
monarchy. Satan. He's got so many different groups that have extreme amounts of power compared to me.
Yeah. Do you think that there's kind of like a second deep state forming around Trump?
Well, just protect Trump from having that happen, God. Please help him not to make the same mistakes that he made when he was 43rd president of the United States, God.
And where do you get most of your news and information from?
X, not just Infowars.com with Alex Jones.
Did you use X back when it was in control of Jack Dorsey?
Well, I did, and I got suspended multiple times.
Was that kind of a wake-up call for you, just having your account taken down multiple times?
I was really aware of that type of thing back in 2013 when I started listening to Alex Jones. He started to wake me up to how things really work in a general way. How we're in a war, and there's a group called the Globalists, and they want to depopulate the Earth, and they want to get it down to under 500 million people.
Yeah.
And they want to bring in their new world order system, their technocratic state where you can't buy or sell without the mark of the beast. It's right there in the book of Revelation, the King James Version Bible. I mean, we may live in that time. We may go through it. I'm ready to die for Jesus. I'm never taking the mark of the beast no matter what.
What's the mark of the beast?
It could be a microchip in your hand.
I do love how he's just like letting him speak. But he's talking about microchip in his hands. But then isn't that like something that fucking like Musk would do? Like, he wants with his microchip stuff.
What?
What's the mark of the beast?
It could be a microchip in your hand. This one, your right one, or your left one, and then maybe it's some type of Neuralink chip.
Yeah, but
in your head.
Yeah.
Or maybe something more advanced than that.
Yeah.
Some people have said the nanoparticulates, or however you say it, in those bioweapon shots from Big Pharma are some type of mark of the beast thing. But I don't know.
Hey, man, well, I appreciate you so much. Thanks for your time, man. Appreciate you. And our show's called Channel 5. Be sure to check it out, man. Appreciate you, dude.
You're awesome.
Thank you. You're awesome, too.
Thank God for his life.
Yeah, man.
I love you.
You too.
There we go. He looks really... I really recognise this guy. He looks similar to someone, but he looks like he's... Wait, is this him?
Yeah, my name is Dennis. I've been doing fentanyl.
Wait, he's changed.
I just tweak on it.
You know, a hyper-violent offshoot of trap generally that, you know...
That's not what I'm trying to see. Oh, he does loads of videos, to be fair. He went to New Zealand. Oh, this guy's channel is just loads of different people now, then. It's not just... It is him.
Oh.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
he's changed.
respect, General. We're going to come to the island, you know what I mean? Like that. Big up.
Oh, yeah, it is him. Damn. What was he on All Gas, No Brakes or something? Bro, he looks so different. Hey, fair enough. Well, look, this is going to definitely spur people's opinions, right? Look, this is one of those things where a lot of people are going to be affected and it's going to be a lot of change, right? I don't think there should be a public education system. Caught myself, God, yeah, I was like, where's this come from? Ready for inflation to go to zero. Anyone who knows economics just sided that statement. I mean, I don't really know economics. I just assume that if it goes to that, then you're all screwed. The dude with the dreads started slipping in and out of his impersonation and regular voice like he was becoming possessed by Trump himself. You can't fool me with those dreadlocks. I know that's you, Alex Jones. Andrew's ability not to not flinch at the craziest takes these people say is incredible. I hope that Cuban guy is aware that Trump put Cuba back on the state sponsor of terrorism list first thing entering office. Yeah, I don't really know what Trump's going to do with the Cuba thing. I mean, look, I understand. He seemed like he genuinely wanted just the best for his homeland, which, fair enough, but I don't think Trump's going to make a difference with that, is he? Andrew's policy of just letting them vibe out rather than trying to catch them and make them angry is so good. Abolish the debt of education alongside inflation to go to zero is crazy work. Abolish the Fed, but also we need some kind of regulation of crypto is physically painful. See, like, yeah, there's just some mad things that are said. And again, like, so that stuff, the school thing was a bit mental. Like, you're saying you're like talking about you want your school, like, how about how the education got worse on average, went from like 7th to 13th. And then you're saying you want to abolish the school system or whatever. Like, what is that about? Like, there's just some mad opinions. And then also, like, again, trans people competing in sports. Like, come on now. Like, not in sports, sorry, in, let's just say opposite sex sports. I would say females that have transitioned to males, but they're not going to compete in the male sports because they're not going to have the physical advantages. I don't like that. I feel like when it comes to this, you don't like those extremes are what I feel like really turn people and really piss people off, because that sort of stuff, it doesn't make sense why you'd have that opinion. Like, if you understood certain sports specifically, you'd feel like doing that then just really disadvantages females in those sports. Like, yeah. This is so sad. They really think the richest men in the world are on their side. Yo, people of America, these billionaires don't give a damn about normal folks. But yeah, anyway, look, this might piss people off, but look, I'm just reacting to this. This is my first time sort of looking at the sort of Trump inauguration, and I do always find these sort of interview videos interesting. They can be funny, they can be batshit crazy, that's just part of the fun. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction, and yeah, until next time, like, subscribe. Peace.